She was just 16. A regular Florida teenager, full of energy, always on her phone, and just starting to figure life out. But one chat, one mistake, and Miranda Corsette vanished. What her family thought was a simple case of a runaway turned out to be something far darker. Miranda didn't run. She was lured, tricked into meeting someone who never planned to let her go. Held captive. Tortured. And when the truth finally came out, it was already too late. This wasn't just murder. It was planned, cruel, and meant to silence her forever. But today, her story will be told, because she deserves that. If stories like this matter to you, don't stay silent. Hit subscribe, share this video, and help us keep their voices alive. We upload a new true crime case every third day. Don't miss what's coming next. Miranda Corsette was your typical high school girl. 16, with a messy room, a loud laugh, and a playlist for every mood. She lived with her mother in a quiet Florida neighborhood. Her world wasn't perfect, but she was trying to keep her grades up, trying to stay out of drama, and trying to find her place in a world that often felt too big. She loved sketching. She had a small notebook where she'd draw faces, animals, outfits, whatever came to mind. Her mom used to say she could have been a designer or an artist someday. But lately, Miranda had been pulling away. She spent more time in her room. More time online. And the light in her eyes started to dim. Her mom thought it was just teenage mood swings. Maybe it was school stress, or friend drama. But behind that locked bedroom door, Miranda was talking to someone. Someone who wasn't a classmate, or a friend from town. Someone she never met in real life, but trusted more than she should have. It started with a message on Instagram. A simple, "Hey, you seem cool." Nothing threatening. Nothing strange. But that message opened the door to something no one in her family saw coming. The man messaging her claimed to be just a few years older. He liked the same music. He complimented her drawings. He said all the right things. Within a few weeks, they were chatting every night. And Miranda, feeling misunderstood at home and school, opened up to him completely. She didn't know he was lying. About his name. His age. Everything. And by the time she found out, it was already too late. It was July 14th, a warm summer evening like any other. Miranda told her mom she was going to meet a friend at the park, just a few blocks away. It wasn't unusual. She'd done it before, and she promised to be back before dark. She even took her phone and earbuds, like she always did. But this time, she didn't come back. By 9 p.m., her mother started calling. No answer. By 10, she was driving the streets, looking down sidewalks, stopping by the park. Nothing. Just empty swings and the echo of crickets. By midnight, panic set in. She called the police. At first, the officers weren't alarmed. Teenagers disappear all the time, they said. Maybe she's with a friend. Maybe she just needs space. But Miranda's mom knew, this wasn't like her. She'd never stay out all night. Never leave without a word. The next morning, the search began. Flyers. Posts on Facebook. Calls to friends. But nobody had seen her. And Miranda's phone? It had been turned off. No pings. No activity. Like she had simply vanished. Police traced her last known location using cell data, a ping near an abandoned property 15 miles from her home. That didn't make sense. Miranda didn't drive. She didn't know anyone out there. So how did she end up so far away? Then came the chilling discovery, a neighbor's doorbell camera caught Miranda getting into a car that night. A car no one in her family recognized. It wasn't a friend. It wasn't someone from school. It was someone else entirely. Someone who had been watching her, and waiting. Investigators quickly connected the vehicle to a man with a criminal record. A man twice Miranda's age. A man who had been speaking to her online for weeks under a fake name and fake identity. The truth was now unavoidable: Miranda hadn't left on her own. She had been lured, trapped in a lie carefully constructed by a predator who knew exactly what to say to gain her trust. But where was she now? The car in the footage was a crucial lead, a dark gray Nissan Altima with tinted windows and a missing front plate. Investigators ran it through every traffic cam and license plate reader within a 30-mile radius. Nothing. It was like the car had disappeared, just like Miranda. But then, 3 days after she went missing, a break came in. A teenage girl from a neighboring county came forward. She told police she'd been messaged by the same man, same profile picture, same style of chatting. He had also tried to convince her to meet up. Thankfully, she never went. Using that conversation, cybercrime units were able to trace the IP address behind the fake profile. It led them to a rundown trailer home on the outskirts of Jacksonville. The name on the lease, Darren Pike, a 34-year-old with a disturbing history, including prior arrests for stalking and online solicitation of minors. A warrant was issued within hours. When police arrived, they kicked the door in, and what they found inside would haunt them forever. There were locks on the outside of a bedroom door. A mattress on the floor. Miranda's drawings, taped to the wall. And in a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards, was Miranda. Barely alive. But alive. Darren Pike was arrested without a fight. When officers stormed into the trailer, he barely reacted. No shouting. No questions. Just an eerie calm as they took him into custody. Inside, police uncovered evidence that made the situation even darker. Multiple fake profiles, burner phones, screenshots of conversations. It was clear this wasn't the first time he'd targeted someone. He had a system. A pattern. Miranda wasn't his first victim. She was just the one who got out. He was charged with kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, child exploitation, and multiple counts of abuse. Prosecutors moved fast. With the evidence stacked against him, they weren't taking any chances. Miranda's family attended every single hearing. Her mother sat in the front row, refusing to look away. And even though Miranda couldn't testify, her drawings, the ones found taped inside that locked room, were shown to the jury. They didn't need words. The horror was clear. Pike's defense claimed mental instability. But that argument didn't hold. The planning, the lies, the traps, it was all too calculated. Too cold. When the verdict came in, the courtroom held its breath. Guilty. On all charges. The judge handed down a life sentence with no chance of parole. There were no cheers. No celebration. Just quiet relief. Pike would never be able to hurt another girl again. For Miranda, it wasn't the end. But it was a beginning. A chance to heal. A chance to speak when she was ready. After the trial ended, Miranda Corsette faced a different kind of battle, one that didn't happen in court. It was the slow, painful process of healing. For months, she barely spoke. She avoided mirrors. She didn't go outside. The world felt unsafe, too loud, too fast. But her family stood by her, day and night. Therapy began slowly. At first, she would just sit in silence. Then she started drawing again. And eventually, the words came. Miranda wasn't just a survivor. She was determined to make sure no one else had to live through what she did. With her mother's help, they started a local awareness campaign in Florida, teaching parents and teens about online grooming, fake profiles, and the warning signs of digital predators. Schools invited them to speak. Law enforcement began to listen more closely to missing teen cases. Her case even led to policy changes. stricter penalties for repeat online predators and funding for digital crime units. Miranda later gave a private interview. Her message was clear. I lost part of myself. But I'm still here. And I don't want silence anymore. She may never go back to who she was before that night. But she's building something stronger, day by day. Miranda's story became more than a headline. It became a warning, a lesson, and a reminder that behind every missing teen poster is a real life, one worth fighting for. Miranda Corsette's story isn't just about what happened to her, it's about what we let happen when we don't pay attention. She was just 16. A teenager navigating the world, like so many others. And in a moment of vulnerability, someone saw that and took advantage. But Miranda made it back. And now, she's making sure others don't fall into the same trap. We often scroll past missing persons posters. We think it's someone else's tragedy. Someone else's problem. Until it happens closer to home, until it is home. Miranda's strength is a reminder, survivors don't owe us a perfect ending. They owe themselves healing, space, and safety. What we owe them is awareness, and action. So the next time you hear a story like this, don't just move on. Share it. Talk about it. Learn from it. And most importantly, stay aware of the people around you, especially the quiet ones, the young ones, the ones who seem like they're just going through a phase. Because sometimes, they're quietly screaming for help. We post new true crime stories every third day, real cases, real victims, and real lessons. If you found Miranda's story important, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us spread these voices further and louder. And if you or someone you know is in danger or feels unsafe, don't wait. Speak up. Help is always closer than it feels. This was the story of Miranda Corsette, a survivor, a fighter, and a name that deserves to be remembered.